Survivor HUD, Nerfs changes, night tweaks, Eyrie of Crow updates, a challenge tracker, and some more are all coming in this developer update. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today we received some new information on the developer update for January of 2023. This is going to be the first developer update of the new year. Happy New Year to all of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the information. So the first thing that we're going to be getting in this PTB that is taking place tomorrow, by the way, it is now on a Wednesday, is the Survivor Activity HUD is coming into the game. Each survivor will now display their current action next to their portrait. These actions include repairing a generator, opening an exit gate, healing, mending and recovering, cleansing and blessing a totem, searching a chest, and killer-specific actions such as snapping out of it, waking up, etc. Not only does this give you some vital information to plan your next move, but also gives you some visibility on what your teammates are doing to build camaraderie between you and your fellow survivors. These actions are only visible among the survivors, and killers won't be able to see this whatsoever. Honestly, this is absolutely amazing. We have been waiting for something like this to buff up solo queue for such a long time. Every time I personally play solo queue, it's just been a big pain, and hopefully this helps. You know, we spoke about in the past giving information to solo queue and buffing them up some way, somehow, and I think this might go quite far. I'm very happy that this is going to be introduced, and hopefully solo queue will be a lot easier to handle now. The next thing they spoke about is updated wiggle mechanics. So, as you guys know, there's currently been a beta that's been going around where you can either spam A or D in order to wiggle, or you can use the new skill checks beta that they incorporated where you can hit the skill checks and essentially start wiggling. They said roughly about 83% of players are currently opt-in to use this wiggle beta, so with 6.5.0 coming out, they're basically going to make this officially integrated. They said they're going to remove the faster wiggle progression from the greater skill checks. Hitting all the great skill checks would only shave off a whole second, but while this sounds small, it can be the difference between wiggling free and getting hooked. Rather than increasing wiggling speed, great skill checks will now increase the amount the killer sways while carrying you by 20%, and great skill check success zones have been increased in size since it's now less impactful. I'm okay with this. I don't think it's necessarily a bad change. It's kind of like Boilover, and it might even buff the perk Boilover itself, so not too bad. They said second, they have added a new sound for non-attempts, i.e. not attempting to hit a skill check, which I'm happy about. So now if the killer's just carrying you or trying to get you to hatch, you don't have to hear that bong, bong, bong. You'll hear a completely different noise, which I pretty much like. They said the last change that they're going to do is that they cleaned up the new system with D-Strike. Previously, as soon as D-Strike is over, let's say you miss, then it just comes up immediately. They said there's going to be a 0.5 second gap and window between decisive strike before the wiggle skill checks appear. So all in all, not too bad. Next on the list is the Nerfs changes / Nerfs. I am very happy about this. We have waited such a long time to receive these changes for the Nerfs, and here they are. First of all, and most importantly, they said that the Nerfs will now basically no longer activate perks based on her special attack. So you're not going to get Starstruck, you're not going to get NOED, etc. You have to hit them with a basic attack in order to do that, and this is a big change. We've been asking for something like this to happen for such a long time, and it is finally here. So that is really good. You're no longer going to get a nurse that just, you know, down someone, picks someone up, and then starstrucks the rest of the team. They said now that they have done that, they've added some sound cues when the nurse has fully regenerated all of her blink charges, which is pretty cool. They said they revisited some of her add-ons and some of the strongest ones and the weakest one to make some changes. Notably, we're going to take a look at the ones such as Badman's Last Breath, but they have changed this to after hitting a survivor with a blink attack, the nurse becomes undetectable from 25 seconds. This effect can only be triggered once every 45 seconds. Jennifer's Last Breath Once all blinks have been exhausted, the nurse may teleport back to original position. Once you return to original position, all blinks charges are restored. They said the full details of the change add-ons can be found in the patch notes once this go live. But here are the add-ons that we can expect to be changed, and it is Boy's Treasure, Dark, Heavy Panting, Respiration, Fragile Wheeze, Campbell's Last Breath, The Other Last Breath, Torn Bookmark, and Matchbook. So pretty much everything is going to be changed on the nurse, and I'm assuming the really good ones are going to be nerfed, the really bad ones are going to be buffed, and you're going to have to see this really interesting middle ground with nurse. All in all, I'm happy with these changes. As someone that plays a lot of nurse myself, I think if you know how to play nurse and you're good on nurse and you never truly relied on the add-ons, you will be completely fine. But if you're one of those people that really were carried by the add-ons or some of the things that made her a little bit stronger, you might be a little bit upset and maybe you won't be playing nurse anymore. But overall, for game health, this is a healthy and good change. Speaking of healthy and good changes, the Knight is finally going to be getting some changes as well. When the Knight came out, I said that I was going to main the Knight. I found that the Knight was super underwhelming. I have voiced my opinion so much about some changes that they should be doing. This is my first time reacting to these changes as well, so let's see what's going to happen. They said first, the orb survivors see when the killer is creating a path will shrink with distance, is apparent completely when the path is longer than 10 meters. This will make it more difficult for survivors to avoid a guard before they become active. Beautiful change, I'm very happy about that. They said second, after creating a path longer than 10 meters, the Knight will gain a haste status effect for a few seconds. The longer the path, the longer the movement speed bonus will be. This aims to help the killer catch up after using his power. That is also a really good change, so now we know exactly what the Knight needs to do essentially. You know, we were confused like if you should just use this power to apply pressure. Do you actively chase the survivors that you're using the Knights with? Obviously, you'll have a little bit of bonus for whatever you want to do now, but all in all, not too bad. The third change is that guards will move to the position they spotted a survivor and beginning chasing faster, depending on the length of the patrol path. Like the haste, only paths longer than 10 meters will benefit from this. They also said that beyond promoting longer paths, we've increased the instant generator regression from all guards to 5% compared to the default 2.5, and guards will not receive generator damaging perks, however, use them wisely. So basically, all the guards will now have a more incentive essentially to breaking the generators rather than you breaking it yourself, so there's purpose in using this. They said lastly, we have to admire the creative way some of you have used the Knight's power rather than locking down an area or aggressively chasing survivors. Some of you discovered that you can start drawing a path and not move to hide the terror radius, particularly near a hooked survivor. While the efficiency of doing this is debatable, it doesn't exactly suit his playstyle, and we've added a 10-second limit to his patrol path creation. This gives enough time to not affect a typical path, but it will put a hard limit on how long you can stay while you hide in your terror radius. So all in all, good changes. I'm excited for what they're going to do for the Knight. This kind of aligns with what I've been saying, you know, making the Knight's minions essentially and guards even stronger than him and letting him be the one that, you know, does all the heavy lifting essentially that all the guards can do, or making it so that you can't see the orb, the circle, etc. And all in all, I think these are nice changes. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Area of Crow changes are next. They said last year the Forsaken Boneyard appeared in the Entity's realm. With some feedback, etc. It's going to be changed with some gameplay adjustments. They said many players reported that the map felt very survivor-sided, which I'm sure we all can agree on. So rather than making this into a long rectangle, the map will roughly be a square, allowing killers to patrol generators more easy. This change in shape also reduces the overall size of the map slightly. They said additionally, maze tiles have been moved away from the main building and shack, making it harder to combine them into stronger loops. They said last but certainly not least, new tiles have been added to the map, which I am pretty excited for. That is awesome. Alright, let's speed through some of the final things. They said that the in-game challenge tracker is now in there. Beautiful. So now when you select the challenge, if you have to cleanse 5 totems, for example, you will have a tracker in the game that will let you know how far of progress you've done. And if you want to keep your screen clear and you don't want to see all this stuff, you can turn it off as well. So win-win on both sides. They said that there's also going to be some game flow improvements, which I'm pretty happy about. They said you can now browse the archives and the store while searching for a match. The searching for a match indicator will stay in the bottom right corner of your screen as you browse. New for the killer players, you'll also be able to customize your non-selected killers while you wait for a match to start. Note that whatever killer you still pick, you will still search and find a game into and return to automatically. Whether you forgot something or you just want to be clicking around for a while, they said you can enjoy that freedom. So that's really awesome. You can basically mess around with other killers that I'm happy about and go to the store, look at your totem archives while readied up. Great quality of life improvement. Merciless Killer is next. Finally, they have updated the Merciless Killer rating. They said to clean things up, the result of how the results you get after the match will be directly tied to kills. So they're basically reverting it back to what it was. 0 kills, the entity hungers. 1 to 2 is brutal. 3 is ruthless, and 4 is merciless. This will directly affect the achievements, obviously, and a lot of easy double pips coming up. I really like this. This is good. So this is going to be good. This is going to be interesting. They're reverting it to the way it was, which means you'll be able to soar through the ranks if you're getting 4Ks every single game, which most likely happens if you're playing good. And that's nice. That directly will be tied with MMR as well. So your rank will kind of mean what your MMR is. Obviously, there's more factors, but that's pretty cool. They then talked about iridescent shard prices. They said by extension, existing outfits will also receive iridescent shard options because they mentioned roughly a month ago that all non-licensed outfits will now have an option to be purchased with iridescent shards. They said they've added this option for the Trapper, Rape, Hillbilly, Nurse, Huntress, Doctor, Hag, Dwight, Claudette, Meg, Jake, Nia, and David King. They can reveal that next chapters will get treatment with the Clown, Spirit, Ace, and Feng, and you can expect iridescent shard prices to appear around the time the update releases on all platforms. And finally, they ended it off with an update on cheating. They said that the team is still hard at work at patching new vulnerabilities. With that being said, they have banned over 64,000 cheaters this year alone, which is almost nearly doubled from what we've seen in 2020, and compared to 2021, it is above as well. And there you go, my friends. That is the developer update of 2023. Quite a few juicy and spicy things in there. I'm looking forward to all of these changes, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Happy 2023, everybody. I have some schedule updated videos coming out for you guys soon. I just chose to make this video today because this is the newest information. You won't be seeing any necessarily new videos from me from a while. Sadly, my uncle passed away, so I won't be making quite a few videos for a little bit. You will see some older videos that I've scheduled. But yeah, happy 2023, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, I'm the king. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.